Welcome to my channel. My name's Maree, and if you haven't visited my channel before, my channel is all about DIYs, flips and makeovers on a Sunday, and during the week, time permitting, I could upload 1 or 2 videos, and they could be anything from a thrift shop haul to out and about in Las Vegas, or we could go on a trip somewhere together. Shortly coming up next week, I am going to be uploading a few videos from my vacation to England. Yes, I went to England with 2 co-workers and we travelled around to Bath, the Cotswolds, London, Edinburgh, and a day trip on the Eurostar to Paris. Brilliant fun. I can't wait to share these videos with you, and I really hope you enjoy them. But for right now, today, this is a collaboration, and this collaboration is with Emily, and her channel is called Wood, Wine and Crafts, and Emily loves DIY and thrift flips all on a budget, which is basically everything that I love too. So we found a really good fit together, and I really hope you enjoy this collaboration. I highly recommend, after you watch this video, please go over and watch her video, because she is talented, she is good, she has some great imagination, and I have, or I will be, stealing quite a few of her ideas. She's so clever, and I like the fact that she has some equipment that I don't have. For instance, she has a Cricut machine. I don't know how to use one. I'm a bit intimidated by them. I've been wanting to buy one, but I keep putting it off. So I'm hoping to find a demo on how to use a Cricut machine. Hint, hint, Emily, maybe that's a video for you. Having said that, our challenge we set ourselves was to go to the thrift store and find 3 objects, $10 or less. So I managed that. 2 items with $10 exactly, and the third, or the second in my video, is $2.99. So a real bargain. I hope you like this video, and at the end, again, please go visit Emily's channel. I am going to link it right below the video. So leave her a comment, subscribe, like, and onto the video. Number 1, I've done it again. I've bought something that I have no idea what it is. So I went into the thrift store, and right at the very back there is some metal racking, and they have it divided up to metal items and wooden items, and in the middle, lying under a pile of wooden items, was this, and it was kind of laying like this. So I looked at it and I first thought it was a towel rack, but I don't think it is. Because normally a towel rack normally has 2 of these, so you can lay the towels over. It wouldn't have this middle rung. Guys, I'm stumped, I don't know what it is. But then I thought it was maybe for books. You know, if you lay a book this way with the spine going down in order. No idea what this is. If you know, please let me know. It has the rounded corners at the top, straight at the bottom. I paid $10 exactly for this. Yeah, and also it has these. So these can go back and forwards, and they can slide back and forth. So I'm stumped. And there's one on each one too, each rack. I have no idea what this is, but we are going to turn it into something. So let's go into the garage and get started on this. Item number 2 is this framed piece of art. Now I paid $2.99 for this, which I was shocked at first, because there was probably about 4 or 5 of these, roughly around the same size, and they were all between $10 and $14. And when I looked at this one and saw $2.99, I thought this has been marked wrong. But upon further inspection, all of the corners are damaged. They're pretty much threadbare, which doesn't matter because we're going to make this over. So it's quite a sizable piece. I have an idea for it, but let's see if I can pull it off. Now, even though the material's threadbare, the actual frame is sturdy. There's no give in it, so it's a really solid piece. It has like a little hook here that I can remove if I want to hang it on the wall, but I don't think I'm hanging this piece on the wall. I'm just going to place it on a piece of furniture. So I'm going to leave it there for future, just in case I want to upcycle it yet again in the future. So let's go start this project. And this is the third piece. So this was a true bargain. This was $10, and they actually had 3 of these, and they were all pretty much identical. They have this pattern painted on, and the pattern was just very slightly different on each one. At first, I thought it was a screen, but on inspection on the back, there are no hinges. It's very lightweight. It's not a heavy piece, but what I really liked about it, I'm gonna bring it up towards the camera, is that it has this really rustic, raw texture to it. I'm hoping the camera can pick this up. It's not just a flat plank of wood. And as you can see, I paid $9.99 for this. So yeah, let's go turn this into something different. Okay, let's do this project. The first thing I'm going to do is paint all over and get rid of this print. I'm going to use this French linen Folk Flirt paint. It was from Hobby Lobby. For a pot this size, it's $8.99. 8 fluid ounces. I have about this much left of the paint inside. I'm going to pour it in here, add a little bit of water to it, and get this covered. That's the first thing. So I've put this much paint in. I'm going to add a touch of water. Give that a bit of a mix. But then I'm also going to add some baking soda just to give it its first layer of texture. And this is what it looks like. So it really thickens it up. Nice thick paste. Now, I had one of my subscribers ask me, is baking soda the same as adding baby powder? I've never heard of adding baby powder to paint before. I don't know where I've been. I've never heard of this. But she said, if you add baby powder to regular paint, it turns it into chalk paint. So you best believe I am going to try that. Not today, but I am going to try that for a future project. So stay tuned. But today we're using baking powder. Now, actually, I think what I'm going to do is paint it with regular paint first to give it a base, and then do this. I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to do a paint of regular paint first. Okay, so I'm going to go in with just my regular chalk paint. Oh yeah, that's doing a better job. Okay, so I've taken it up to about here with this colour. So now I'm going to add just a little touch of this colour, just to darken it up ever so slightly. Okay, so you can see a bit of a gradient happening here. I have just mixed some more paint up. I was running low, so now I'm going to add in my third colour, which is this. So I'm just going to do a tiny little drop. Tiny little drop. And you see how I'm not blending this in, I'm leaving it chunky just to give it the texture. Okay guys, so I have resorted to working in my hallway. My front door's right there, my living room's there. I tried to go in the garage, but it is I was in the garage probably 10 to 15 seconds and I literally had sweat running down my face. So it's 109, I think it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to do it in here. I have laid a drop cloth. I will clean up any mess I make. So first things first, we're gonna sand. I've got 110 grit sandpaper here, and we're gonna just knock the very top off. Next thing, I'm gonna give it a wipe down, get all that loose dust off. Now there is a bit of a crack, so I need to fix that. I'm going to fill it with wood filler. The first thing I'm going to do is stain these ruts going across, and I'm going to keep these. I think it's kind of cool. I still don't know what they are, but I think it's cool to keep some of the original bits and bobs. I think it just makes it more unique. So yeah, first things first, I'm going to stain all the centerpieces. Okay, so I'm just going to use some of this compound to fill this crack. Okay, once that dries, I can then sand that back so it's nice and smooth. So I'm going with this colour stain. And if you guys had seen where I took that one bar stool and I knocked it down and aged it, this is the same colour stain because it's going in the same room. This is going to go into my master bathroom. So I kind of want to keep it all the same. So we're going to use some of this, and I'm probably going to need 2 coats of this like I did with the stool. So let's jump right in. And yes, these gloves are somewhat too big for me. Kitchen towel versus a paintbrush. I just feel like I've got more control over it. Plus it's quicker. Okay, so I put 2 coats on and I really like it. It's darkened it up just perfectly. You can see the difference between the 2 colours in the wood here. So I'm gonna go sit this outside to dry and then we can move on with the next step. And I don't know if you can tell, but I am sweating. I am in the hallway. I am right next to the front door, and I literally can feel the heat coming through the front door. It's like working on the surface of the sun. Okay, this is dried now, so I'm just gonna sandpaper this down, knock it back so it's nice and smooth. Okay, that's worked a treat. That's nice and smooth now. Okay, so now I'm just going in with some detailing with a fine brush and a watercolour, and then I'll seal it in with my final spray. Right, the first thing we're going to do is give it a coat of my favourite paint, white linen chalk paint. First coat done. Now I'm going to let that dry. Okay, so this is coat number 1. You can still see the dark coming through. So I'm going to go in with a second coat right quick, and then we can move on with the project. Okay, next we're going to take some instant coffee and add some hot water to it. Okay, here's our coffee. So I haven't done too much, just enough to do a little wash over this board. So as you can see, I've got 2 projects on the go here. I've got this one over here and this one here. This is the one that we're just gonna wash with some coffee. So I now have 4 pieces of material that are all basically in the same color palette. They're all grays. They're all cream, grey, dark grey, or really dark grey. I've found this that I'm going to use as a template for my size. So I'm going to cut out 4 squares to start with. So I just quickly gave these a little touch up with the iron. They're still pretty crinkled, but I just needed them to lie flat. So now I'm going to draw out my letters on the back of the material. So I found this at the thrift store. It's made of plastic. I think it probably was attached to something else. You can see these little hook pieces on. So I think there was a piece of cardboard or something behind it. I'm not sure, but I paid $4 for this. I'm going to see if I can attach it to the top of this board with some glue. First of all, I need to give it a really good wash. Okay, so I'm going to use some of this glue here. This is plastic, that's obviously wood. So I only have this tiny little thin rim that I can attach the glue to. So hopefully this is going to work, because I really don't want to get glue all over this project. I can open the do is use up some more of this coffee stain. I'm going to stain this material, take out some of this white, take it back, make it more of a rich cream colour. Okay, so I've got an old plastic tray here. I'm going to take these and sit them outside to dry in the sun. However, these all took really well, but this one here, I actually dunked it into the coffee mixture because the print on it didn't want to take. It's taken some, it's knocked it back a little bit, it's not as bright. Yeah, let's take these outside, and if it doesn't look like it's changed, I'll just paint it. You can see it's taken a little bit, maybe not. We'll see what it looks like when it dries. So I have my letters. Let's find the H first. Here's the H. Now I'm going to try this glue. I've never used it before. It's a spray glue. It says disappearing purple spray adhesive, permanent bond, multi-purpose, dries clear. Like I said, I've never used this before, so we're going to give this a go. I'm going to spray it on the back whilst it's on the tray, and then pick it up and transfer it on here. All right, let's okay, so I've got some brown watercolor paints here. I'm gonna go in on some of these ridges and just define some of these and start to work on aging this piece up. So here my brush is practically dry. Every time I touch the board, I'm just wiping it off, but you can see there's just such a faint deposit of paint. It's just aging it, just adding an extra layer.